So good morning, everybody. Jay Baba. I am Evie Lindemann, and I'm really intuitively excited about this program with Fereshteh because usually Baba gives me a little soft poke in the ribs and says, do this, do this, do this. And her name kept coming up along with the ghazals of Hafez that she has translated. So I'm the board chair of Mayher Archive. I might have already said that. And I live here in Asheville, North Carolina, and I am assisted by Diana Goodheart and Ashley Lowe, who's our administrative assistant. So I want to thank them. And I also want to thank Heather Mashandaro for beginning our Baba Zoom programs a few years back when she worked as an administrative assistant for us. And I want to thank Angela Chen for providing an amazing platform for Baba lovers from all around the world. The interesting thing for me this morning is things come to me like unanticipated. And this beautiful quote from Baba came to me this morning. So I'm going to share that with you. And this was in the family letters. The trust has the copyright and it's page 270. And I believe it's from 82 family letters. The remedy for all ills is to remember me constantly and wholeheartedly. I'm going to read it again because I love it. The remedy for all ills is to remember me constantly and wholeheartedly. And I can't think of any better way to remember Baba than dipping into poetry that he loved. As it turns out, Baba's favorite poet of all time in the mystical realm was Hafez. And on January 31st, just shortly before Baba dropped his body, he asked Alaba to go into Mandali Hall to bring to his bedroom 3 couplets by Hafez, which to this day, if you travel to Meherazad and visit Baba in his bedroom, you will see these couplets on the wall. And what that tells me is Hafez's poetry held some kind of key or many keys, who knows? And that Baba gave great importance to poetry. He was very conversant in both Eastern and Western poetry, had memorized many poems, I believe probably from his high school and then later his college days when he was very, very interested in literature. So I'd like to tell you just a little bit about the archive as we begin. And basically, our vision and our mission is to preserve, collect, and share Meher Baba's divine legacy of materials, artifacts, and words with integrity, love, and transparency. So as we begin that, we're going to have some time with Fereshteh. And note how I pronounce her name. I learned the actual Persian pronunciation this morning. And being a lover of foreign languages, French, Italian, and Spanish, I'm very aware of pronunciation as a significant value when you attempt to speak to somebody in a foreign language. And often our clumsy American ways are not very poetic, but when we return to the source language, and today it's going to be Persian, there's a beauty and a rhythm to the way names and words and phrases and language and poetry are spoken. So I'm going to invite you today to just listen for those rhythms. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Fereshteh's background before we launch into the poetry. And I personally am in my other life, when I'm not busy with the archive, I'm also a board certified art therapist and an expressive therapies facilitator. So I work with people on journal writing and their own explorations of who they are spiritually. So I'm going to invite you today, anybody who's listening in, and this is a practice that I love to do when I teach, And that is this: Fereshteh will read the poems 2 times. And on the first round of her reading or speaking it, I'm going to invite you just to put everything down and close your eyes if you like to do that, and just listen to the beauty of the language and the nuance. And she's going to read in Persian first, so we can catch the dance of the couplets. On her second reading of the ghazals, I'm going to invite you to just have a little piece of paper beside you. And if there are any words or phrases that catch you in the heart, then I'm going to suggest that you write them down. And by the end of today, you might have a lovely, using Baba's metaphor of the beads on one string, you may have a beautiful strand of a necklace that you can work with later after the problem is over. Because in these times that we live, it is so important to nourish our hearts. And that is what we're going to do today with Fereshteh. And there's a beautiful quote by Baba, which I have somewhere here. And if I can't find it in this moment, I will find it in another moment. But it has to do with Baba's kind of strong suggestion to us that the heart always needs to lead and the mind follows. So we will attempt to do that today with Fereshteh. So I'd like to tell you a little bit about her fascinating background. So Fereshteh grew up in Tabriz, Iran. And when she was 17, she left Iran to pursue her studies in the United States. And she received an undergraduate degree in business administration and a graduate MBA from the University of Minnesota. And she has worked with major companies, really unusual ones. The first one I'm going to cite is Quaker Oats, because you all might remember Baba's story about Quaker Oats. You know, if you were a mom going to a shop and on the shelf there were two versions of Quaker Oats. One was an older version and the other one was a newer version. And he said, if you were trying to nourish your family, would you pick up the old container of Quaker Oats or would you pick up the new one? And the new one, of course, was kind of a rich metaphor about the Avatar and his advent. But in any case, she did do consulting work with Quaker Oats, American Express, McDonald's, and even Mobil Oil. She's done such complicated things that I don't even understand all the language for them. But trust me when I say that she was a highly competent professional in basically information technology management and consulting. But today we're not going to inquire about her business background. We're just going to put that aside because I'm always fascinated about our backgrounds and how it is that the things that we've done in our previous lives in this one come to bear on the lives that we're living now. And I think it's so fascinating how Baba gathers us up and uses all these skills and sometimes pushes into new arenas where we don't seem to know very much and we struggle, but lo and behold, those old skills surface and help us. So with that, Fereshteh, I'd like to just invite you to have a little bit of conversation about all of this with me, and then we'll move on to sharing the poetry. Does that sound good?
Great. Thank you. Thank you for that lovely introduction.
Oh, you're welcome. So with that, I thought we would begin with some slides that Ashley is going to share with us. And they're some of them are fun and some of them are historic, but it gives us a visual reference to Fereshteh's life, both in Iran and her life in the United States, and her relationship with Hafez, and I'm not going to spoil this, one of the women Mondli. Would you like to share that? So here is Fereshteh as a young woman, dressed in a very stylish way. And you'll notice that wonderful old telephone in the background, which is the way we used to speak to people. And looks to me like she's organizing herself probably for some travels.
Just a hint, it was actually a 40s party at a
Oh,
at a hotel, and that was my costume, and
oh my gosh.
yeah, I was getting my purse ready to leave
Oh, how
the party.
fun. That's a lovely hat.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go forward. And here is Fereshteh in India with the lovely Katie Irani on one of Fereshteh's visits to Merazad. I think this is such a beautiful, uh, touching photo of those rich and deep relationships that many of us had the good fortune to cultivate over the years on earlier trips to India. Go ahead, Ashley. Yes. And here is Fereshteh's Ghazals of Hafez, Original Translations, Volume 1. We will talk a little bit about the complexity of translations and the versions from Persian that are highly respected, used widely, have a particular persuasion or type. And in the background, you'll see that is the tomb of Hafez, and we will show you actual photographs of that tomb. And here we have the tomb of Hafez in Shiraz in the evening light. And in future slides, and there is Fereshteh sitting in front of the tomb of Hafez in the evening in Shiraz. This is a close-up of Hafez's tombstone, which you would miss if you only looked at photos that took you a little bit farther away. So in this beautiful calligraphy, you can see how intricate and lovely the patterns of language are. And I think we'd have to ask Fereshteh if she could help us understand this beautiful calligraphy.
Yeah, it's Persian calligraphy, a very traditional style, and this particular poem actually is going to be in the second volume, but because I reference it as part of my coming to uh, Hafez story, I have included it in the appendix in the endnotes of volume 1. So this whole ghazal is included in volume 1.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so just take a breath, everybody, and soak in the beauty. I mean, regardless of our language skills in Persian and the understanding of Persian calligraphy, there's such a beauty to it, to the movement, the grace, the lines, the gesture, the gestural language of it is so lovely. And go ahead, Ashley. Here we have, if you were standing underneath and you were able to take a photo, you would see this incredible tile work in one of those astonishing Islamic designs. And we have another one that shows the top of it in its entirety.
Evie, excuse me. I'm just wondering if everybody is seeing these photos.
Okay,
It
well,
might be, Ashley might need to speak in order to get but this the
so I'm wondering, so those of you who are on, if you could just unmute for a second and tell us if you can actually see these images.
Yeah, yeah, I
Yes, you
can.
can. Okay.
great. Okay.
Uh, how about Marzipan? Can you can you see them?
Yes, they're
Oh,
beautiful.
Okay, good. Rich. Okay, Gay, can you see them? Okay, good. It looks like we're good on that.
fine. All right, wonderful.
Thank you.
Is
Okay,
that
and here you see the roof, so-called, the underside of Hafez's tomb. And again, I'm just going to ask us all, take a breath, and whether we comprehend the geometric intensity and complexity of it or not, there is such a beauty to the design itself and the coloration. Let's forward it. And Ashley and I, when we put this together, thought this was so fascinating. Here's Baba's work, you know, combining the mundane materials of the physical world and the significance of money. And here for 1,000 rials, there is Hafez's tomb on the left side. And I don't know, Fereshteh, what's the value of 1,000 rials?
It's absolutely nothing.
Okay, another one of Baba jokes, but look at this. This is incredible. Okay, let's go on. And here we have a photograph. Just you can see the lovely layout of this. If you only saw Hafez's tomb, you wouldn't realize how basically it was situated in these beautiful gardens with these reflection pools and bushes and trees that are in bloom. Okay, there we have credits for the music that we began the program with. And let us go back to Fereshteh and a visual of all the people that are on our screen today. Here we go. Great. So those of you who came on later, just welcome all. And we're going to have Fereshteh explain to us the origins of her inspired work for Baba that actually began in India with one of the Mandali. So Fereshteh, over to you.
Okay, thanks, Evie. Well, the inspiration, of course, came from Baba, unbeknownst to me. Baba was instrumental in uh, catching me. And the reason he caught me is because I was studying with Yogananda and living near his ashram in Phoenix, Arizona. After being with that school training for 4 years, I began to have an internal unsettlement as to what I was doing. And among many things, personal and professional, everything else seemed to come to a kind of a dead end, both in my spiritual life and professionally also, since I was catching myself writing poetry at my desk instead of focusing on my consulting work, and things were just getting a little rough. I started really kind of yearning for my roots and realized that here I am in America. Uh, by that time, I'd been here quite a long time, and I had kind of lost touch with my roots. And I started yearning for a type of spiritual life that would, how should I say it? Love God in reckless abandon is my favorite coined phrase that I like. Because the structure in Yogananda's school was very church-like. You know, you'd go into a meditation session with the monk coming in and getting on the altar or whatever, that podium, and giving a talk and then doing a meditation. It was lovely. But I think I personally reached my ceiling, my plateau with that, and started yearning for something a little bit more natural. So at that same time, I said, well, who am I? Here I am. I was born in Iran, raised there with such deep culture of spirituality and poetry, and I really should try to reconnect with that. So that was a feeling I had. And it was at the same time that I met my Meher Baba contact people, a couple who lived in Arizona, Stephen and his wife. And that started my journey to Baba. And when I shared my poems, personal poems, with Nancy, Stephen's wife, she shared hers with me, and I was struck by the beauty of her poetry, thinking, who is this beloved she's writing to? It must be some secret, love affair she's having. So I questioned her and she said, "Oh, these are about my master, Meher Baba." And I had heard the name before because my friend had introduced Nancy to me, saying, "They also have a guru. His name is Meher Baba, and Stephen kind of looks like Meher Baba. You got to meet Nancy." So that's how it all started. I met Stephen later in an Indian restaurant. He started telling me about Meher Baba. And by the end of the evening, which resulted in Stephen, Nancy, and I at my condo in Phoenix, Nancy sprawled on the couch, asleep or unconscious at 4 a.m., and Stephen telling me his coming to Baba story, which was incredible.
Oh.
So I won't tell that whole story. Maybe that's for another time. So that's really basically how it all started. And when I learned that Meher Baba loved Hafez, of course, that encouraged me to dig in and read Hafez and try to get a better grasp of it. And one of the poems Nancy sent me had been from a Hafez renderer who's a Baba lover. We all know him, and he's one of the most published renderers of Hafez. And so I read his poem, and actually it was beautiful, and it struck a chord with me. So I started corresponding with him, saying, "Please tell me which Hafez Ghazal it is you're translating. Do you know Farsi?" And so this resulted in a number of emails back and forth. He told me that he actually wasn't familiar with Persian, but he read other translations and then rendered a word or an image that stuck with him. So we'll just leave that story right there and move forward to my trips to Iran and to India. And during those trips, the first one was to Shiraz, and my husband told me to make sure and read that ghazal on Hafez's tomb and bring it back to me with a copy, with a picture and a translation of it. I'd like to know what it is. So I did that, and I'm standing there at the tomb of Hafez, this incredible atmosphere of a perfect master. Baba called him a perfect master. And I read it. I looked at it, and I was kind of struck by, wait a second, this is one of the two that I had translated already before coming to India. This is one of those two. So then later that year, I hope I'm not getting the dates correct or wrong. I had another trip to India, and during Arnavaz's cremation, someone stood up and read a ghazal of Hafez, and that happened to be the other one I had translated. So, needless to say, those two coincidences made me realize Baba's giving me a hint. And I decided to maybe try my hand at translating Hafez. And that's how it started.
Lovely. The I just want to make a little bit of a reflection on your story, Fereshteh, which is, the strands of our return, our coming to Baba, and subsequent always are so significant. And I think they're so deep that we might spend a lifetime in the mystery of how all of that happened. And the beauty of it is these are experiences that I think words don't exactly touch, but it's something so nested and rooted in the heart that it guides us forward, as you were guided forward with your journey to Baba, and then your journey into a little bit, I mean, a lot, your roots in the Persian language and your family history and your culture. But then you're also a transplant in a way. You're like a plant that was rooted in one soil and is carried to the next and then blooms in these unexpected ways.
Beautifully said.
So with that, I wonder if you want to tell us a little bit. I know in your introduction in your book, you talk a little bit, or actually quite a lot about various translations of Hafez and the ones that you gravitate toward. And then the idea of fal.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes. So I chose the Qudsi version, and that's because my friend, Baba friend, uh, I won't name him. He lives in India now, but he was in Shiraz at the time. And he said, "Oh, so you want to translate Hafez? You should definitely look at this particular version called Qudsi." And we went
Can you
searching for
spell
it.
that for us, Fereshteh? You
Qudsi,
spell it?
the letter Q is transliterated as Q, so it's
Okay.
Qudsi, Qudsi.
Okay. Okay.
And I have it here somewhere, but it's not handy. Oh, yes, it is. Let me show you. And this is the Divan, Qudsi Divan,
Oh, how beautiful. Wow.
which I ended up looking for it and I didn't find it. And then eventually I think I found it in a bookstore, or he found it for me. I forget which.
Mhm.
Eventually I got a hold of it.
Okay.
Actually, Ward Parks helped me find the PDF of it, which really everything rolled like in the right direction.
Hmm.
So Qudsi, what he did is he studied old versions. The Divan has a lot, maybe hundreds of different versions um, and editions out there in the marketplace of Iran. And he studied the older ones and some of the newer ones, and he compiled 600 of them. And reading his introduction and looking through everything, studying it closely, transliterating and translating for word when Baba quoted Hafez, um, invariably it corresponded word for word from the Qudsi version. Whereas the Qudsi version is, other versions are sometimes quite a bit different. Other versions have eliminated quite a bit. You know, they range between 4 to 500 in the other versions that are pretty mainstream and common. So a lot of them were eliminated. Some say due to the fact that they were attributed to Hafez, but it's not necessarily known for sure that it is from Hafez, and or they were eliminated because people didn't want that in the divan. You know, as we all know, spiritual works do get tampered with and, you know, changed over time, whether it's the scribe writing the wrong word or the scribe or the editor or whatever deciding his word is better than the original or completely eliminating something or rearranging lines. So all that went on. And Qudsi did that comparison with the four other mainstream versions. Um,
Wow.
Qazvini, Nesari, Sayeh, and Khanluri. And to me, that's like a beautiful attempt at a reasonable first critical edition, which compares what's out there to what he did. And his collection is, to my mind, by far better and more complete. Only on occasion I defer to the others because it didn't make sense and the word didn't seem like it. You know, the other version seemed more accurate to me. And again, it's also very subjective as translations are. You know, the translator is going to use their own understanding and resources to do the job. So I've hopefully done my best, and I know I've done
Mm.
my best, but it's not good enough. It's never good enough to penetrate into the deep, deep, deepest ocean that Hafez was conscious of later, his
Mhm.
journey to God. So anyway, it's been a fun journey.
Yeah. So do you want to talk a little bit about fal?
Yes. So traditionally, Iranians have this book in their homes and they consult it for a major decision in life or even minor questions, whatever the case may be. Um, and they open it, and whatever page their eye falls on is the answer to their dilemma or question or issue. So that's called a fall. It's kind of a sort of a divination, if you will. They also do that with the Quran. the Quran, some pages are on the top, they say khub, and some say bad. So some pages are noted as good and some are not so good. So people
Really?
so use the Quran as divination and they read that, but you know, for the good for those who can read Arabic. But I'm sure there are good translations of the Quran in Farsi and other languages as well.
So just this morning, everyone, I was taking a look at The Joyous Path, Volume 2, that was written by Heather Nadell. And lo and behold, on page 1041, I'm just going to read you very briefly. The context of this was November 1995, and Mani was going to have her first brain surgery. And she'd asked Aloba to consult the Divan of Hafez to see what Hafez had to say about her surgery. As mentioned, quote, as mentioned earlier, there is an Irani custom of consulting the Divan known as taking a fal that Baba himself practiced on occasion, unquote. So it's just an amazing, I think it's an amazing practice. And with that, Fereshteh, do you want to lead us into your ghazals?
Absolutely. Just an added note about Baba and Hafez. There's 179, if I'm not mistaken, references to Baba mentioning Hafez or quoting Hafez in Lord Meher. So that's a really good source to go to. And I have done the compilation, and hopefully I will get that together sometime, of everything Baba ever said about Hafez. And it was always very complimentary, with high regard, and pointed. I mean, every line of Hafez is a discourse in of itself. And of course, Baba had his favorites that he quoted often. And fall is, Alaba was Baba's falgir. So,
Oh, the one who did the fall for him.
yes, yes,
Who
he would
took the
call on
fall.
Alaba a lot to say, okay, go to Hafez and open it and see what he has to say.
And it was Alaba who, on January 31st, on Baba's instruction, removed the three couplets by Hafez in Mandali Hall and brought them to Baba's bedroom, where they continue to be. On your
Exactly.
next pilgrimage, you will see them in the corner of the room.
Yes. And it is on actually, those three couplets are from three different ghazals of Hafez. So,
Is that right? How
yes.
fascinating.
Yeah,
Okay.
we will encounter one of them during my readings.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
All right, so shall we begin?
Let's begin. And do you want to tell us your format? I believe you were going to read it in Persian first and then read it twice in English. Did I get that right?
I think that's what you requested, but I think I'll read some of them in Farsi, not all of them, because that
Oh,
gets
that's fine.
tricky. Yeah, just
So
to get
as
into the
Fereshteh begins, let us just maybe even close our eyes and listen to the rhythmic beauty of the language without needing to understand cognitively what it might be referring to, but we might feel into it.
and I'll play a little background music. Do tell me if it's too loud or not enough. Um, is that okay? Thumbs up, thumbs down? Can you hear
Not
it?
not hearing it
Hearing.
yet.
Okay, so let's do the share. How about now?
Yes, now hearing it.
Okay, perfect. This is the first ghazal in all divans. Ala ya ayyuhal saqi ادر کاسا و ناول ها که عشق آسان نمود اول ولی افتاد مشکل ها به بوی نافعی کاخر صبا زان طره بگشاید ز تاب جعد مشکینت چه خون افتاد در دل به می سجاده رنگین کن گرت پیر مغان گوید که سالک بی خبر نبود ز راه و رسم منزل ها شب تاریک و بیم موج و گردابی چنین هایل کجا دانند حال ما سبکباران ساحل ها مرا در منزل جانان چه امن و عیش چون هر دم جرس فریاد می دارد که بربندید محملها. همه کارم ز خودکامی به بدنامی کشید آخر، نهان کی ماند آن رازی که از او سازند محفلها. حضوری گر همی خواهی از او غایب مشو حافظ، متی من تلقی من تهوی دع الدنیا و امثلها. The first line and the last line is Arabic, so I stumble on
Oh,
those.
wow. Okay. Let me just tell you, the music is a little bit loud. I
All right.
want your voice to come forward more and the music just to fade into the background a little
Is that
more.
better? Is that better?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So I'll read the translation of the first ghazal, and in that, this is one of the ghazals that Baba quoted from. Come, O Saki, pour wine into the cups and pass it around. At first, love seemed easy, but many hardships followed. In the hopes the morning breeze would unleash the scent of musk from the knots in his hair, what pain befell the hearts from the mere sight of those perfumed and disheveled locks. If your master orders you, drench your prayer rug in wine. The Salik is not unaware of the customs and ways of the path. A dark night, fear of the wave, a fierce whirlpool obstructing the way. What do the carefree know of our state while standing safely on the shore? How can I indulge in the enchantments of the house of the friend when the bell on the camel's neck shrieks, urging me to pack up and move on? Wow. All my efforts in self-indulgence have ended up in shame. How can a secret remain hidden when brought out into the open in gatherings? O Hafez, if you want your beloved's presence, do not be absent from him. When at last you see your beloved, let go of your hold on the world and time.
So I've asked Fereshteh to read these ghazals twice, and on the first reading, I just suggest just close your eyes and let the metaphor and beauty of the language just take you on a journey. On the second reading, what I suggest, this is something I like to do in my personal and professional practices, is to jot down any word or phrase that just rings true in your heart. And by the end of today, you may have a long list or a short list, it doesn't matter which. And those can be like your beads on a string to nourish your heart today.
Come, O Saki, pour wine into the cups and pass it around. At first, love seemed easy, but many hardships followed. In the hopes the morning breeze would unleash the scent of musk from the knots in his hair, what pain befell the hearts from the mere sight of those perfumed and disheveled locks. If your master orders you, drench your prayer rug in wine. The Salik is not unaware of the customs and ways of the path. A dark night, fear of the wave, a fierce whirlpool obstructing the way. What do the carefree know of our state while standing safely on the shore? How can I indulge in the enchantments of the house of the friend when the bell on the camel's neck shrieks, urging me to pack up and move on? All my efforts in self-indulgence have ended up in shame. How can a secret remain hidden when brought out into the opening in gatherings? O Hafez, if you want your beloved's presence, do not be absent from him. When at last you see your beloved, let go of your hold on the world and time.
Mm. Mm.
So I randomly opened to the ones that I wanted Baba to have recited today. So
Oh, okay. You did a fun.
I did a Baba Fall, yes, for your, for Mac.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay.
So this is Ghazal 13. And you would like me to read the Farsi as well?
It's up, I leave it to your intuition, Fereshteh. When you think it's important for us to hear the language in its origin, please do it. And when you want to dispense with it,
All right. I'll do a couple first and then maybe some at the end.
okay.
ساقیا برخیز و درده جام ما را خاک بر سر کن غم ایام را ساغر می در کفم نه تا ز سر برکشم این دلق ازرق فام را گرچه بدنامی است نزد عاقلان ما نمیخواهیم ننگ و نام را باده درده چند از این باد غرور باده درده چند از این باد غرور خاک بر سر نفس بدفرجام را دود آه سینه سوزان ما سوخت این افسردگان خام را Music is a little rumbled. محرم راز دل شیدای خود کس نمی بینم ز خاک خاص و عام را با دلارامی مرا خاطر خوش است که از دلم یک باره برد آرام را ننگرد دیگر به سرو اندر چمن هر که دید آن سرو سیمندام را صبر کن حافظ به سختی روز و شب عاقبت روزی بیابی کام را O Saki, rise and pour wine into the cup.
Mm.
Bury the sadness of this passing world.
Mm.
That's a main theme of Hafez.
Mm.
We'll drink to that. Place the cup of wine in the palm of my hand, that I may take off this dark woolen robe stained with pretense and hypocrisy. Although such conduct is scorned among the wise, we are no longer concerned with good name or disrepute. Partake of wine, how many more gusts of pride? Be buried, O lower self, with your doomed destiny.
Mm.
Excuse me. The smoke rising from the sides of my flame-wailing breast. Burn these depressed novices on the path. Okay, Baba, give me a break. I do not see anyone among the elect or the common to whom I can divulge the secrets of my love-intoxicated heart.
Mm.
I delight in the memory of a sweetheart who at once robbed me of my peace of heart. No, no one notices the cypress in the garden once they see the splendor of the beloved's form. Be patient, O Hafez, and bear the hardships day and night. Surely one day you will attain the desire of your heart.
Mm.
Excuse me for 1 second. I'm gonna get a lozenge
Sure.
because my throat is
Okay. So I'm just going to invite all of us just to let ourselves just sit in the beauty of some of that imagery. It's familiar to us just, because of our relationship with Baba, but to hear it this directly, one of the phrases that got me was bury the sadness of this passing world.
indeed.
So I'm going to ask Fereshteh to read it one more time. And this time, if you have any words or phrases that just catch you in the heart, write them down.
O Sahi, rise and pour wine into the cup. Bury the sadness of this passing world. Place the cup of wine in the palm of my hand, that I may take off this dark woolen robe, stained with pretense and hypocrisy. Although such conduct is scorned among the wise, we are no longer concerned with good name or disrepute. Partake of wine, how many more gusts of pride? Be buried, O lower self, with your doomed destiny. The smoke rising from the sides of my aflame wailing breast burned these depressed novices on the path. I do not see anyone among the elect or the common to whom I can divulge the secrets of my love-intoxicated heart. I delight in the memory of a sweetheart who at once robbed me of my peace of heart. No one notices the cypress in the garden once they see the splendor of the beloved's form. Be patient, O Hafez, and bear the hardships day and night. Surely one day you will attain the desire of your heart.
Mm. Mm.
This is number 29. And by the way, different versions, different editions have different numbers.
Really?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can't say 29 and go to 29. What you have to do is read the first line. And fortunately, they have not messed with the first line too much in the versions. So you can find the first line and how it ends. The ghazal form is each line, the first part of the first line or bait ends with the same sound, phonetic sound, as the last word of the second line, and it ends like that for all the lines.
Mm.
So in this case, it's deuced and oosed and deuced and juiced, it's all
Yeah.
sounding. So here we go. سر ارادت ما و آستان حضرت دوست که هرچه بر سر ما می رود ارادت اوست. نظیر دوست ندیدم اگرچه از مه و مهر، نهادم آینه ها در مقابل رخ دوست. نثار روی تو هر برگ گل که در چمن است، فدای قد تو هر سرو بن که بر لب جوست. مگر تو شانه زدی زلف عنبر افشان را که باد قالیه سا گشت و خاک عنبربوست. رخ تو در نظر آمد مراد خواهم یافت، چرا که حال نکو در قفای فال نکوست. That's a tough one. صبا ز حال دل تنگ ما چه شرح دهد که چون شکنج ورقهای غنچه تو بر توست. نه من سبوکش این دیر رند سوزم و بس بسا سرا که در این آستان سنگ و سبوست. زبان ناطقه در وصف حسن او لال است، چه جای کلک برید زبان بیهوده گوست. نه این زمان دل حافظ در آتش طلب است که داغدار ازل همچو لاله خودروست. In Farsi, a single letter can have the sound of a or or o, And
Hmm.
depending on the context, it could have different meanings. And if you're reading it and you don't know which, and the word is like me, the word is old and unfamiliar and no longer commonly used,
Hmm.
and the scripture has not put a mark on it,
Mm-hmm.
then it needs phonetic research.
Oh,
So,
wow. Is that why you said that's a tough one?
well, it's tough because, you know, a lot of these words are not in common use.
Oh, wow.
And so my dictionary and, you know, phonetic pronunciations of these ghazals were my best friends when I was
Hmm.
doing the translations, but I'm not, you know, 100% well versed in every single transliteration or
Mm-hmm.
pronunciation of all these ghazals. So even though I practiced, I keep
Yeah,
I keep failing. Not on all of them, but some words they trick me.
yeah.
So that's why I said it's a little tough.
I think part of what I'm appreciating is just the complexity of translating. There's so many layers.
You won't believe how complex it is. Some are easier than others, but some are hard. Some are really hard,
Mm-hmm.
and I take a long time to research.
Hmm.
I look up the translations, Farsi to Farsi dictionaries, Farsi to Farsi translations, um, not or interpretations by others. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Never in English. I don't go to that, but Farsi to Farsi from scholars and others who have done it. And then I use my own intuition to figure
Mm-hmm.
out what Hafez is saying to me.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it's a very complicated process.
Yeah.
And I still pinch myself that 300 were done.
All right.
So
Now in English.
in English, my bowed head and the threshold of the holy friend. Whatever happens to us is due to his grace.
Hmm.
I never saw the likes of the friend, not even by placing the mirrors of the sun and the moon to reflect the beloved's face. Every pearl of flower in the every petal of flower in the garden, an offering to you. Every cedar tree by the river bank, sacrificed at your feet. Did you comb your perfume exuding locks to cause the wind to become a perfumer and the earth a nose? I remembered your face and felt that union with you was possible, just like a good mood ensues after a favorable fortune reading. How could the morning breeze explain the state of our yearning heart? It is tight and twisted like the petals of a new rosebud. I carry the jug of wine on my back in this rend burning world and nothing else. There have been enough heads broken with stones on this threshold. When a speaking tongue is rendered speechless in attempting to describe his beauty, where is the scope for a pen with a cut off tongue? Whatever it writes is in vain. It is not just in this age that Hafez's heart is burning in the fire of longing.
Mm.
A primordially wounded one is like a wild tulip that grows on its own.
Mm.
Oh,
Read it again.
yes.
My bowed head and the threshold of the holy friend. Whatever happens to us is due to his grace. I never saw the likes of the friend, not even by placing the mirrors of the sun and the moon to reflect the beloved's face. Every petal of flower in the garden an offering to you. Every cedar tree by the river bank sacrificed at your feet. Did you comb your perfume exuding locks to cause the wind to become a perfumer and the earth a nose? I remembered your face and felt that union with you was possible, just like a good mood ensues after a favorable fortune telling. How could the morning breeze explain the state of our yearning heart? It is tight and twisted like the petals of a new rosebud. I carry the jug of wine on my back in this rend-burning world and nothing else. There have been enough heads broken with stones on this threshold. When a speaking tongue is rendered speechless in attempting to describe his beauty, where is the scope for a pen with a cut-off tongue? Whatever it writes is in vain. It is not just in this age that Hafez's heart is burning in the fire of longing. A primordial wounded one is like a wild tulip that grows on its own.
Mm. Mm.
Well, how are we doing on time?
I think we're doing fine. We'll do a few more minutes of your ghazals. How to say how to pronounce it? I've always heard it in India as ghazal, but I don't think that's right. It's ghazal?
It's ghazal,
Ghazal.
ghazal. There's a difference between g and r. So it's
Okay.
ghazal with a
I'll,
rain.
I'll leave it to you, Fereshteh.
Okay, this is number 78.
Okay.
Once a seeker learns the way to the tavern, he considers it futile to knock on any other door. The world does not give the crown of Rendi to anyone, except to one who considers it a great honor in the world to have. I need to explain the word Rendi.
Okay.
I chose not to translate it because there is no word for it in the English language.
Oh, wow.
Try as I may. It has been translated as rogue, but anyway, the deep meaning is one who is deeply, deeply spiritual inwardly, God-loving, probably on the plains, intoxicated with God, and outwardly they appear like, not like mad people, but like someone who could care less about conventions
Mm-hmm.
expectations, social
Mhm.
norms. He may do odd things that normally one say, wow, this man cannot possibly or woman be spiritual. Yet, deep down, you have no idea what goes on between their hearts and the beloved. So
Okay.
that's a rend. Let me know if you find an equivalent English word.
Yeah.
Equivalent
Wow.
in
That's how
Russian
we'll
for
challenge
it.
the whole group with that one. We'll check in at the end.
Yes.
I was thinking like scoundrel, trickster, somebody, yeah, but it's not that.
There is a Russian
Word
word.
for it, and Russian language does have a word for it.
Say
Olga,
the
you-
word again, Olga.
Yurodivy. It's exactly the one who knows God, and people think him or her mad and be totally behavior that people don't understand.
Oh, wow.
But in
Fascinating.
Russian culture, it is common. These people can break out and dance or singing or just go alone, or it's just people don't understand, can't relate to their behavior. But in old Russian days, people recognize these people as holy people. And the name in the Russian, I'm sorry to interrupt, I just kind of
All
couldn't.
right.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I always thought Russian culture was very soulful, so now I'm
yes, it
convinced.
is.
Olga, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, so I just want you to hear again the word for it. It's Yurodivy. Yurodivy. Yeah. Okay, that's
Beautiful.
all.
Oh, thank you. Back to you, Fereshteh.
So I'll start from the beginning. Once a seeker learns the way to the tavern, he considers it futile to knock on any other door. The world does not give the crown of Rendi to anyone, except to one who considers it a great honor in the world to have. Whoever finds their head on the threshold of the tavern learns the secret of the Sufi house through intoxication by the cup of wine. My heart did not ask for mercy from the eye of the Sultan because it knew the methods of that ruthless beloved. Do not expect any more obedience from me. There's a typo. From me than from a madman, because the sheikh of our religion considers intellect a vice. From the cruelty of my rising star in the morning, my eyes shed such tears that the sun saw it and the moon found out. Blessed is the vision that sees the rim of the cup as the crescent of the new moon, and the face of the Saki as the roundness of the full moon. Elevated is a king who perceives the arch of the 9 celestial bodies of the sky as a mere sampling of the curve of the arch of the Almighty's court. About the hadith of Hafez and his drinking in hiding, what is the need for the Sharia or the town guard? The king knows all about it. One who can read the mysteries of the 2 worlds from the markings on the cup will gain the real knowledge from the imprints of the dust of the path.
Wow. That's a beauty.
So the markings on the cup, I researched that, and it actually, in the olden days, the cups would have the goblets of wine, and Hafez uses the secular as well as the spiritual. The cup, as you know, is a metaphor for the heart, and wine is the metaphor for divine love. But in a secular sense, he's very clever because he brings the two and dances them together beautifully. The markings on the cup would indicate how much the sagi would pour, depending upon the ability of that seeker to handle it. So in terms of a worldly wine, you only pour a little bit to the, newbie who can't handle his alcohol. And in a spiritual sense, the master will only give as love, divine love, or love as much as you can handle. Because as Baba used to say, if you even had a drop of my real divine love, you would disappear, you'd drop your body. So most of us are not quite ready for that injection.
A tenth of a drop.
Yeah, a millionth of a drop.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to move on to the next one.
Yep.
I heard a fine discourse from the Pir of Canaan. It is futile to try to describe the agony of separation from the friend. When the preacher speaks of the fright of Judgment Day, it is but a hint of the time of separation. Whom should I ask the whereabouts of my nomad beloved again? The message brought by the morning breeze was garbled and meaningless. Oh mercy, how easily my cruel-hearted promise-breaking moon abandons the company of his friends. From now on it is me, contentment and gratitude to the rival. The heart has become accustomed to pain and has abandoned the cure. Cure your ancient sorrow with aged wine. This is the very seed of happiness, said the wise Pir of Dehqan. Do not tie a knot with the wind, even if it should blow in your favor. This is the parable with which the ant advised King Solomon. Do not ask why and what, since the fortunate slave wholeheartedly accepts everything that the master says. think that you'll recognize this one. Baba
Yep.
translated it. Befitting a fortunate slave, carry out every command of the master without any question of why or what.
Mm.
Do not be derailed by the seduction the world offers you. Who told you that this old twisted man has given up deceit? Bring the wine, go ahead and drink, since last night the peer of the tavern gave many discourses on the forgiving nature of the most merciful. Who said Hafez has stopped thinking about you? I never said that. Whoever said it was slandering me.
Can you talk about the meaning of peer?
Yes, peer is, Baba explained peer to be a six-plane saint on the inner path.
Mm-hmm.
And usually a peer is a master of the Sufi house,
Uh-huh.
a master, a murshid.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Great.
In this case, peer of Canaan was Prophet Jacob, father of Yusuf, who cried and longed for his son for many years.
Mm.
And the rival is the guard of the beloved's court, who keeps the beloved away from the lover by jealously guarding and protecting him for himself.
Mm.
And Pir of Dehran was a famous and wise man of knowledge, also a renowned winemaker.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right, so I guess we ran into two of the couplets that Baba.
Mm-hmm.
I will stop whenever you tell me to. I have about.
I'm not ready yet.
Okay. You're not intoxicated enough.
Well, I don't know. Betty's cheering me on and giving me thumbs up and clapping, so I think we're good for a little bit. I can't see everybody else, but I'm hoping they might be in concord with that.
We'll move to 142. This one I'll read in Farsi a little bit. پیرانه سرم عشق جوانی به سر افتاد وان راز که در دل بنهفتم به در افتاد از راه نظر مرغ دلم گشت هواگیر ای دیده نظر کن که به دام که در افتاد دردا که از آن آهوی مشکین سیه چشم چون نافه بسی خون دلم در جگر افتاد بار غم او عرض به هر کس که نمودم بار غم او عرض به هر کس که نمودم عاجز شد و این قرعه به نامم ز سر افتاد از رهگذر خاک سر کوی شما بود هر نافه که در دست نسیم سحر افتاد مژگان تو تا تیغ جهانگیر برآورد بس کشته دل زنده که بر یک دیگر افتاد این باده که پرورد که خمار خرابات از بوی بهشتیش چنین بیخبر افتاد بس تجربه کردیم در این دار مکافات با دردکشان هر که در افتاد بر افتاد گر جان بدهد سنگ سیه لعل نگردد با طینت اصلی چه کند بد گهر افتاد حافظ که سر زلف بتان دست خوشش بود بس طرفه حریفی است کش اکنون به سر افتاد So this one you will maybe figure out that it is about his love for the young woman that he fell in love with. Baba explained that Hafez was an old man and he fell in love with this beautiful young woman he saw at a window. Suffered that unrequited love for a long time.
Oh, wow. There was one word I could pick out, and that was nazar. And is that the same meaning that Baba would say that he keeps his nazar on us? Is it gaze or glance or?
Yes. Baba used the Farsi word because, you know, he brought it into our
Okay, yeah.
life or whatever. Yeah. Yeah.
And would you translate it, Fereshteh, as his gaze, his,
Well, it's not just a gaze, but it's a meaningful gaze that does something. It's not
okay,
just looking at you, but
yeah,
imparting a spiritual benefit to you
okay. It
by
has depth.
yeah, well, yeah, it has spiritual benefit.
Okay.
In my old age, I became desirous of a young love, and the secret that I held in my chest was revealed. From a glance, the bird of my heart became airborne. O sight, give me a vision to see whose trap it fell into. O my heart, because of that perfumed dark-eyed deer, my heart poured out much blood into the musk pouch of my soul. When I offered the weight of the grief for the beloved to anyone, they became helpless, and this lottery fell to my name again. It was from the dust of the passage to your abode, every musk pouch that fell in the hands of the morning breeze. As soon as your eyelashes lifted like a world-capturing sword, many live-hearted slain lovers piled on top of one another. Who preserved? Are you ready for this, pal?
I don't know. Let's go.
Who preserved this wine? Who is this winemaker who is oblivious to the heavenly scent of his own fragrance? We have had enough experience in this karmically just world to know that whoever opposes the lovers of wine ends up defeated. Even if it kills itself, the black stone does not become a gem. What can it do with its innate nature? If it is dark, it is dark. Hafez, who was always adept at playing with the tresses of beautiful idols, what an incredible beloved he's desiring now. So somewhere along the line, he transformed his love for the girl or his love for the beloved.
Fereshteh, I think that one warrants a second reading.
I love this one.
Yeah, let's hear it again.
And I love the rendition of
Oh, there's the window.
yeah, the window and the girl.
Oh,
This
wow.
is my collaboration with Pixlr Art, which
Okay.
I gave prompts to Pixlr, which is an AI image generating software.
Oh, and that's what came up.
And he would give me back it. It's not a he or she, it's an it. Give me back 4 different images based on the prompt that I give it. And I would pick one if I liked one, and then I was able to enhance it color-wise and so on, or modify the prompt to give me a better rendition. So
You know, wow.
Pixlr and I had so much fun at the end. I was initially very reluctant to use images in the book. And then my Turkish friend who comes to the Baba Center here said, "Oh, Fereshteh, you should put some Persian miniatures in the book." I'm like, pictures? People should only focus on the words. I'm not going to even consider that. And then her words came into my ear and from my ear to my heart. And I said, well, let me try. Because some ghazals span 2 pages and then there's a whole lot of empty space underneath the second page. And I didn't want to just leave it blank. And I wanted, for fall making, I wanted each ghazal to start on a new page. So there we go. I had a canvas of many possibilities to put, and that's where, when you buy the book, ta-da, it'll have many, many photos inside. That
It's a little fall-like.
yeah, yeah,
Could you
yeah,
show that one again, Fereshteh?
sure.
Ah, oh, wow.
That's
Oh
beautiful.
my goodness, that's beautiful. Oh,
And yeah, I think I prompted something like, show me the picture of a dervish gazing up in the window to a young woman, something like that. And boom, it created several. And this was the one I fell in love with. I think it's beautiful. But again, art is subjective.
Okay, second round of listening to this beautiful.
In my old age, I became desirous of a young love, and the secret that I held in my chest was revealed. From a glance, the bird of my heart became airborne. And this glance is the word nazar, but it is more literal. This nazar, his glance fell on the girl. And of course, there was some spiritual transmission there too, because it led him to the path, led him to God, or his master, who was Attar, I would say. From a glance, the bird of my heart became airborne. O sight, give me a vision to see whose trap it fell into. And of course, that young, beautiful beloved was the master, disguised as the beautiful girl. As we know, God is everything and everyone, and does what he needs to do to awaken the heart of the lover. Oh, my heart, because of that perfumed, dark-eyed deer, my heart poured out much blood into the musk pouch of my soul. When I offered the weight of the grief for the beloved to anyone, they became helpless, and this lottery fell back to my name again. It was from the dust of the passage to your abode, every musk pouch that fell in the hands of the morning breeze. As soon as your eyelashes lifted like a world-capturing sword, many live-hearted slain lovers piled on top of one another. Who persevered? Who preserved this wine? Who is this winemaker who is oblivious to the heavenly scent of his own fragrance? We have had enough experience in this karmically just world to know that whoever opposes the lovers of wine ends up defeated. Even if it kills itself, the black stone does not become a gem. What can it do with its innate nature? If it's dark, it is dark. Hafez, who was always adept at playing with the tresses of beautiful idols, what an incredible beloved he is desiring now.
Fereshteh, the reference to the musk pouch, can you talk about that a little bit?
Yes, the musk deer has a pouch, and in that pouch is this most incredible heavenly perfume. And the musk deer is always looking for the source of that perfume, never finding it, not knowing that it is within himself or herself. So that's a beautiful metaphor for the plight of the aspirant on the path. We are it. We have everything within us, but we're not conscious of it.
Yeah, that's beautiful. You know, there's a reference in Baba's discourses to the musk deer, that it searches through its entire life looking for this incredible fragrance. And I think somehow at the end, it leaps off a cliff, and in that falling, suddenly knows it is its own source.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's so beautiful. Well, we could tell me what you think, Fereshteh. Should we open it to the floor? And if it so happens that there's a space or a calling for another ghazal, we can do that. And otherwise, we'll just open the floor and have people respond and share. Does that sound okay?
That sounds great.
Okay, so those of you who are here, If you'd like to be seen, I hope you will show yourself. And if you prefer to stay dark, please stay dark. And if you think you want to render your voice to this beautiful sharing today, you can unmute yourself. So it's an invitation.
I think we have a question by Rich.
Okay.
What was the number of that you just read in your book?
142.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Other than that, I just want to make sure you're aware that I'm a part of your fan base.
A real
Thank you, Rich.
revelation. That was great, Rich.
Well,
Thank you.
I was very pleased and surprised and heart heartwarmed that the RT folks, the very loyal RT folks, read some of my ghazals, and Rich is one of them. The RT started during COVID, and I was one of them. And then, you know, after COVID lockdowns and all that were over, I started veering off. But whenever I come back, it's a joy to be with you guys.
Lovely. And I see that Diana has a comment or a question. So Diana, please share.
I do, and this has just been wonderful, Fereshteh. Your translations, interpretations. I don't know what word would we say. Rendering has
No,
just
no, they're not renderings. God
Not
help me. No, they
translation.
they are my best effort at translating what
Okay.
actually Hafez expresses
Okay.
to my understanding.
And it comes across so really beautifully. And what I was reminded of, speaking of all of this poetry, that and I've been reading a lot of Kabir and Yunus Emre, the Turkish mystic, and only in Hafez do I see such a strong focus on the lover-beloved relationship, that personal relationship. The others do so beautifully describe and express other things, but here it's so personal, and you express that beautifully in your translations.
Thank you, Diana. Thank you.
So the floor is open, my friends. Welcome to the tavern, a place to nourish our hearts.
They're all drunk.
Looks like Sophia maybe wants to say something. Is that right, Sophia?
Yes, I just want to say thank you. I'm just a bit floaty, a bit transported. It's so heart opening, just imbibing all the drops of it. I just love it. I've heard Fereshteh before, and she's magical when she's reading them. Thank you to Hafez, to Baba, to Fereshteh.
Oh,
Thank you, darling.
beautiful.
It's
So
a gift to be able to absorb this and just feel the heart.
yes, a good stretch on that. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was lovely to spend time with you, Sophia, when you visited the Meher Center for the first time.
I did. It was amazing.
This past month. So
Where
I
are
miss
you
you
from,
very much.
Sophia?
I'm in UK.
Okay, lovely. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome.
Thank
And I
you.
don't know, oh, Dot had unmuted a bit. Dot, nice to see you here today. And
Yeah,
maybe
sorry.
you
Yeah,
wanted to say something.
yeah. I'm just so thrilled hearing it, and of course, hearing the Farsi Fereshteh.
Hello,
And
Dot.
and I have one important question because I'm eager to get your book. Do you have the Persian written there so that you can see the ghazal in Persian as well as the translation?
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Oh,
I
I
really
can
cool.
show you
yes,
this.
the,
Oops.
right. Oh yeah, there you go.
What
Evie,
if somebody's showing? I'm on my phone. I'm busy
Oh,
packing,
oh,
so I
yeah.
okay.
I can
Just showing
see
the Persian above.
Evie, I can
Yes.
see it now. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at where I see everybody's picture and
Yeah.
oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
Dot.
so
Nice
much.
to have you here today.
Just lovely.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Well, my friends, if there are no more comments, I'm afraid we're destined to spend a little more time in the tavern with another ghazal.
I think Rich raised his hand again. Let's hear from
Oh,
him.
yes,
Then we'll read
Rich.
another one.
Okay.
Well, I'm always self-centered, I think, in my comments, but that's what drives me to enjoy, this stuff so much. But I'm pretty weak on the lover-beloved relationship with Baba. So I've sort of wandered in from the Ward Parks,
Oh,
Darshana end of things, but the way Fereshteh, what I've been so impressed with is I started with her infinite intelligence notebooks, and I recognized the effort that it took to do that and the value of it. And so I've been reading that, but these are more about that true love beloved thing, like uh, Diana was talking about. And I know you mentioned you put years into this. I wanted to make a funny comment, which is, and do you read those little scribbles from right to left or left to right?
Yes,
Very
Persian, like Arabic or Urdu, it's from right to left.
oh, wow.
And you open a book from right to left.
Oh,
So yeah. Good
great
question.
question, Rich. Yeah, that was
But really, in follow-up to that, I feel that, of course, being with Baba all these years, my understanding of Hafez has deepened. And in particular, working with Intelligence Notebooks, which was published late last year, my understanding took even a deeper dive. So I'm very, very grateful for the opportunities Baba has given me to work with his words. And like Hafez, he's matchless in telling us that, some gems of the spiritual journey that none has ever divulged. So,
So, Fereshteh, in listening to that comment, I wonder if you have any ideas about how these dust-laden feet wandering the world can work with this material more directly. You're a Persian, so not as Persian speakers, right? But as, Westerners, what might you suggest?
that's a great question. My hope was for myself in translating Hafez, English being my fourth language, yet the language that I'm most comfortable with, because I've now spent how many years? Let's not talk about how many years I've been here,
Yeah,
but
a
since
few
I was
decades anyway.
a few decades, and so I wanted to get to Hafez through English, through the English language. It's one thing to appreciate it in the Persian language, but it's difficult. And it took that effort of mine with my fourth and best language to bring it to me, to my heart in English. So I'm hoping that my translations have done that, have done a little bit of that, bringing Hafez into the more, I don't want to say, yeah, modern English, something that we can relate to, something that I could relate to, that I could write. And that would be, I guess, just read them over and over again, or read them once and put it aside and think about it. Read it again. And write me if you have questions or comments. I'm open, very much so. Very, very
That's
eager to
lovely.
hear your feedback.
I have, just as I was asking you that question, this came up for me because I do expressive writing practices with mental health professionals related to grief and loss. And what I advise them to do is when they write, to read it out loud back to themselves. So in a way, you provide a mirror to yourself about your own journey. And then the other thing I like to do is what I call a writing prompt. So all of these beautiful phrases, I mean, this is my paper. I don't know if you can see it. Listening to you, these are some of the phrases and words that I wrote down. And any of these can be a departure joint for digging into the content of our hearts in a freer way. So I'll read you several of the ones that I wrote down.
Please do.
Bury the sadness of this passing world, right? That becomes a writing prompt for us in our own journey. Or let's see, burning in the fire of longing, or the bird of my heart. And then, of course, I love the musk pouch. But anyway, anything that any of us wrote down today can be a part of our own journey into our own hearts. And I think this is why I was really excited about this program today, because I see it as nourishment for our hearts.
I want to
So,
echo what you said, Evie,
yeah,
because I feel like, you know, it's one thing to sit at my computer and write it and read it, but to speak it really brings it to life for me even. So, yeah.
interesting. I have something that I keep in my guest bedroom, and Baba's in the bough of a tree. It's a beautiful photo. And the quote that somebody matched up is this: "The mind has a place in practical life, but its role begins after the heart has had its say." So what I think, some of this poetry could do, I mean, we could, for example, today even, I could take a fal, as Baba used to do periodically, and just open it to a page and read that ghazal aloud, and then find myself wanting to nest in a particular line or phrase, and then using that as the departure point for writing from my own heart.
Mhm.
I don't know if anybody wants to share any of the lines that they wrote down, if you did that practice as you listened to Fereshteh. But if anybody does, I'd love to hear them here. Oh, wait, 2 participants have their raised hands. Look at that. Who was up first? Diana, were you, or Betty, you? Doesn't matter. Okay, I'm going to go to my left. Betty, go ahead.
I think it was me. I've hesitated. I'm so weepy. um,
Oh,
that, um,
so beautiful, Betty. Thank you for sharing that.
yeah, you've opened the door, and I'm very appreciative.
Baba did. Baba did. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
Jai Baba.
So that's a beautiful metaphor you used, Betty. You opened the door. Yeah, thank you so much. Ah,
Diana.
Yeah, Fereshteh, I really want to add that while you were reading, I didn't have any sense that I was listening to a translation. I really felt like I was hearing it directly from Hafez, that you really, found the nectar in the poetry and just made it available. And that it's such a lovely experience. I felt it was a direct relationship with what Hafez was saying. Um, and 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 I had Evie, you're looking for what we remember. I didn't write it down, but I love that phrase about, was it soaking my prayer rug in the wine?
oh,
And that really,
beautiful.
really appealed to me.
That's so beautiful.
Mm,
Really, the prayer
it's
rug
lovely.
being a metaphor for religion. And as Baba said, that is a stepping stone to spirituality. Dot. Yeah, there you go. So, are we
Yes.
ready for the final ghazal?
Okay, folks, fasten your seatbelts. No telling what this one is.
I know, really.
We'll
Yeah,
find out shortly.
I had 3 left, but I guess I'm just going to read the first of the 3. So, the
Okay.
last one was rather long, and I was saving that to last. What do you think?
Well, we have until 1 o'clock.
Oh, it's only
So
12:38.
if you would like to read the 2, I think we could do that.
All right. I will not give up. This is Ghazal 192, Rich. I will not give up seeking the beloved until I obtain the desire of my heart. Amen to that. Either my soul will reach the soul of souls or it will leave the body. Open my grave after I die and see how from my inner fire smoke will be rising from my shroud. Reveal your face, and some people will become dazed. Open your lips to speak, and men and women will cry out. My soul is ready to depart, and my heart is filled with longing. Without having had a kiss from his lips, it will surely depart. I am overwhelmed by the longing for your mouth. How can a beggar like me ever rise to that mouth? I said to myself, get over him, O heart. My heart said, that is only possible for someone who has overcome himself. Each curve of your hair has 50 hooks within. How can this broken heart of mine deal with that curve? In hopes of finding a flower like your face, the morning breeze comes searching throughout the garden. We are like the disloyal ones who cannot reach the beloved. What remains in us and what remains is us and the threshold until we die. Rise and manifest so that in the grassland both the elm and the cedar can flourish. They say whenever Hafez's name is taken in a circle of lovers, it is akin to praising him being God. So I have a little footnote here. Rise and manifest so that in the grassland both the elm and the cedar can flourish. When the avatar comes, he gives a push to all of creation.
Take a nice breath on that, folks.
Once more.
Sure.
I will not give up seeking the beloved until I obtain the desire of my heart. Either my soul will reach the soul of souls, or it will leave the body. Open my grave after I die and see how from my inner fire smoke will be rising from my shroud. Reveal your face, and some people will become dazed. Open your lips to speak, and men and women will cry out. My soul is ready to depart, and my heart is filled with longing. Without having had a kiss from his lips, it will surely depart. I am overwhelmed by the longing for your mouth. How can a beggar like me ever rise to that mouth? I said to myself, get over him, O heart. My heart said, that is only possible for someone who has overcome himself. Each curve of your hair has 50 hooks within. How can this broken heart of mine deal with that curve? In hopes of finding a flower like your face, the morning breeze comes searching throughout the garden. We are like the disloyal ones who cannot reach the beloved. What remains is us and the threshold until we die. Rise and manifest so that in the grassland both the elm and the cedar can flourish. They say whenever Hafez's name is taken in a circle of lovers, it is akin to praising him.
Fereshteh,
Yes, Azizam.
in that one, could you read the Farsi the one that starts out ya, either or, ya, because it has Tan, which is body, and John, which is soul. And it's a wonderful play with Tan and John.
Okay. Is it this one? هر دم چو بی وفایان نتوان گرفت یاری ماییم و آستانش تا جان ز تن برآید. Is that the one?
Maybe I'm just thinking of another. When I thought it started out ya, it's not. There's none that start with ya. Okay.
Not in this version, not in this. Oh yeah, that's the first one. دست از طلب ندارم تا کام من برآید یا جان رسد به جانان یا خود ز تن برآید.
Yeah, خود ز تن. And it's so fun for us that in Persian, that khod means self or yourself, and khuda is God.
Yes.
Oh, that's lovely.
And you know, as I read them out loud, which I haven't done for all of them, all 300 I haven't recited out loud, I am finding things still even now, you know, it's like a little journey that I could say it even better. Ta ya jan rasad be janan ya khud ze tan barayad. Either I will reach the soul of souls, or yeah, I mean, I said I will leave the body, but it's با خود یا جان رسد با جانان با خود ز تن برآید. The false self, it's talking about the false self will leave the body because,
Yes.
you know, anyway, so it's endless.
There's so many layers.
So many layers. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, one more and that's it.
Yes, one
We
more,
have
my friends.
the final one, which is longer. Here, Baba. Ghazal 292. O Zephyr, bring the intoxicated scent of love from the dust of the beloved's door. Take away the sadness of the heart and bring the glad tidings from the beloved. Speak a life rejuvenating point from the mouth of the beloved. Bring the letter bearing the good news from the hidden world of secrets, so I can enliven my nose with the grace of your breeze. Bring a bit of the perfumed breath of the beloved. I implore your loyalty. Bring the dust of that beloved one, without the impure dust that rises from the enemies of the friend. It has been a lifetime since the heart has not seen the face of its destiny. O Sahi, bring that jug with the pure, reflective, mirror-like quality. Bring the dust of the path of the friend, blinding to the jealous eyes of the enemies, to soothe these blood-soaked eyes of mine. My mad heart will not be tamed with chains. Bring me a ringlet from the curve of those beautiful locks. Naivete and innocence are not traits of the martyrs of love. Bring the news from that elusive beloved. Thank God you are free and blissful, O bird of the garden. To those who are imprisoned in the cage, bring the good news of the garden. Without the friend, the mouth of my soul is bitter from waiting. Bring me a laughter from that sugar-lipped beloved of mine. Of what worth is the Sufi cloak of Hafez? Color it with wine, then bring him back from the bazaar, intoxicated and ruined.
Mm. Well, what I'm thinking is, we'll check with Fereshteh about this. We could ask Fereshteh to read that lovely one more time, and maybe we just end at that point, and I might just read a final quote from Baba at that time. How's that sound, Fereshteh?
It sounds great.
Okay, let's do it.
O Zephyr, A Sabah, bring the intoxicated scent of love from the dust of the beloved's door. Take away the sadness of the heart and bring the glad tidings from the beloved. Speak a life rejuvenating point from the mouth of the beloved. Bring the letter bearing the good news from the hidden world of secrets, so I can enliven my nose with the grace of your breeze. Bring a bit of the perfumed breath of the beloved. I implore your loyalty. Bring the dust of that beloved one, without the impure dust that rises from the enemies of the friend. It has been a lifetime since the heart has not seen the face of its destiny. O Sari, bring that jug with the pure, reflective, mirror-like quality. Bring the dust of the path of the friend, blinding to the jealous eyes of the enemies, to soothe those blood-soaked eyes of mine. My mad heart will not be tamed with chains. Bring me a ringlet from the curve of those beautiful locks. Naivety and innocence are not traits of the martyrs of love. Bring the news from that elusive beloved. Thank God you are free and blissful, O bird of the garden. To those who are imprisoned in the cage, bring the good news of the garden. Without the friend, the mouth of my soul is bitter from waiting. Bring me a laughter from that sugar-lipped beloved of mine. Of what worth is the Sufi cloak of Hafez? Color it with wine, then bring him back from the bazaar, intoxicated and ruined. Avatar Meher Baba Ki Jai.
Jay. I want to thank you all for coming today, as we've experienced a little dip of immersion into the tavern through Fereshteh and her translations of Hafez. So much gratitude to you, Fereshteh, and to all of the helpers today, Diana and Ashley and Betty, and to all of you for joining with us today. I think it might be good if I'm going to read this little quote by Baba that came to me, just emerged from the dark this morning. The remedy for all ills is to remember me constantly and wholeheartedly. And let's just end with the beloved God prayer. If you'd all like to join in, unmute yourself if you choose to or not.
And before
Beloved God, help us all. Yes, Fereshteh?
well, I just wanted to say, Evie, I wanted to thank you from my heart
Oh,
for giving me this opportunity.
oh.
And may it reach many hearts.
Yes, that would be great. And I'll just say with that, Fereshteh, that this will be uploaded to our YouTube channel, the Meher Archive YouTube channel. So it'll be available again and again. If you need to visit the tavern and your heart feels dry, there's a remedy and a resource here.
There's
Wonderful.
one,
Thank
there's
you.
a hand up. This one, Rich has.
Oh, Rich?
This is more of a comment I've made before, but Fresh Day, I think Baba made it clear that he was bringing himself to the Western world through women primarily and their hearts and efforts. And I think you were one of those people with this book, especially this book, because I've even thought I've got to repeat one of these to my neighbor, just put it in her ear. But thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you, Evie.
Okay, Bob.
Oh, thank you, Rich.
Good.
Well, with that, let's say the beloved God prayer. Beloved God, help us all to love you more and more and more and more and still yet more until we become worthy of union with you. And help us all
To
to
hold
hold fast to beloved Baba's Daman until the very end.